The following is an independently produced program. The views expressed within are not necessarily the views of WAVS Radio, its staff, or management, but are strictly those of the hosts, guests, and callers.
170.
1170 AM. It's Sunday night in the Caribbean, man. Hubert McIntosh is a member of the Society for Financial Awareness, and he's the man.
Financial literacy provided by Hubert McIntosh.
CPA.
Financial literacy. Control your financial status.
Here's your host, Hubert McIntosh, CPA.
Good evening, good Sunday evening to you. How are you on this beautiful Sunday evening in South Florida? We can say it's a beautiful Sunday evening, contrary to 2 weeks ago. So things are back in full swing in South Florida, and but we still sharing sympathies for others. The Irma still continued through the Caribbean and raise havoc. Our prayers and our hearts goes out now to the people in Puerto Rico. They took a whooping, and some of the other islands. It's so interesting. One of the islands, it's so with the previous one with RV, the St. Croix, one of the U.S. Virgin Islands, was not impacted. So it was St. John and St. Thomas, which is outside the skirts of St. Croix. So you have these three islands basically right beside each other. St. John was impacted, St. Thomas was impacted. Well, the story changed. This time. St. Croix took a whooping along with Puerto Rico. So you hear much more about Puerto Rico, but the island of St. Croix is basically almost completely destroyed. So our sympathy and our prayers goes out to those who are still reeling from that. There is still no power in Puerto Rico. People cannot even contact their loved ones here in the U.S. So many people, there have been no communications. The media has been helping somewhat by providing satellite phones and so forth. So, so our prayers goes out to them, as this time of recovery will take quite a while. Houston still reeling, and all the things that are happening around the world, so our prayers and our hearts goes out to all those people. So we're thankful to be here. So I'm here with you this Sunday evening. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA, a member of SOFA. SOFA, the mission of SOFA is to help eradicate financial illiteracy in America. Yes, I've joined with SOFA to bring that service to this community, and hopefully we can get you out of where you're not part of that statistics. 2 years ago, FINRA released a study that 74% of Americans were financially illiterate. And if that was 2 years ago, it's your guess if you want to guess whether that rate has gone down or up. But in our dealings daily, we have seen where it's gone up. So we could almost say 80% of Americans are financially illiterate. And so we're hoping that we can help decrease, if not eliminate that. We know it's a mammoth task, but we can start with one community at a time. And we have started with this community. So I encourage you. We are in Sunday school. Tonight I'm going to share some statistic with you. So I want you to get your pen, get your paper, because after last week's program, we got some feedback where people were saying they want us to talk more specific on what are the costs. We started at the cost, so I'm just going to summarize what we did last week, and then we're going to talk about the cost. So we're in the studio. The line are open. 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. So please call us with your questions, your comments. We value your feedback. So we are on with you Sunday nights, 9 to 10, but you have 24/7 access to us. You have social media access. We have a website, financialliteracy.info. financialliteracy.info. If you go on the website, you can go straight there to Facebook. We have a Facebook page. You can go, you can like our page, you can make comments, you can share our page. Yes, you have time tonight, because tonight we're going to be dropping some very, very important information to you. So you still have time to share the page with your family, with your friends. You never know what impact you will have just by sharing. Just remember that old saying: a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. So we encourage you tonight. You share our page with someone. You may be helping a person, you may be helping a family, you may be helping generations just by you sharing what we're going to be talking about tonight. Tonight we're going to dive into long-term care. We started talking about it last week. We had a few comments. There were a few callers where one lady shared with us her woes regarding long-term care. We're going to talk about some of that tonight, and we're going to go further into lots of things. So financialliteracy.info, that's the website. You can contact us via email, support@financialliteracy.info, support@financialliteracy.info. You can contact us directly also by phone if you don't want to come via the web or in the studio here. 754-366-7311, 754-366-7311. On the website also, we have a YouTube page. The YouTube page, you can go on, you can subscribe to the YouTube page. The YouTube page has all the recordings of all the shows from January 1st of this year. All the shows, if something that you may have missed, if something that may interest you. And also, we value your feedback in the sense that if there are topics on your mind, financially related, that we have not spoken about, and you think it may be necessary, you can make comments, and then we will make sure to address that. We have gone through, we have spoken about long-term care before, but I think it needs re-emphasizing. We have spoken about Social Security, we have spoken about retirement, mutual funds, and a very interesting topic, and we're going to bring back this one soon. We spoke about women and retirement, and we got some feedback also on that particular topic, saying, why are you emphasizing women in retirement? In the sense, whereas a lot of times women don't realize how significant retirement is to them, because keep in mind, the latest statistics have shown for 2017 is showing that women are expected to live 7 years longer than men. The average man, they're saying, will live till age 81. The woman will live to age 88. So a lot of the planning, if the planning is being done and that woman is not involved in that planning, then, whereas you have 7 years longer, so that's one topic we'll bring back. But why am I mentioning that tonight? Because long-term care, believe it or not, even though it's for seniors, women are more impacted with long-term care than men, just because of that longevity. Because remember, with longevity is good in its sense, but longevity create other problems, and one of the problem longevity create is long-term care. And that's what we're going to lead into. We're going to segue, whereas someone may wonder, why is long-term care important to me? But there's a statistic, and this one was just released December 31st, 2016. So this one was just where it says, is long-term care in your future? Statistically, 70% of people Think about this for a minute. 70% of people over age 65 will need long-term care. So if you line up 10 people who are 65, what it's saying is 7 of those 10 people gonna need long-term care. So that's why, so you stop and you ask yourself, is this in your future? And you could either look into it and says, well, I'm gonna try to prepare for it, or am I gonna stick my head in the sand? And because this is a planning program, we don't subscribe to that. So that's not what we are gonna share with you. We're gonna take the belief and we're gonna take the philosophy that you want to know about the planning. So the insights we're gonna share with you is regarding planning for long-term care. We're gonna share with you some of the pros, some of the cautions, because there are a few cautions that you have to be aware of. So what is long-term care? Long-term care is ongoing services and support needed because of chronic health condition or disability. Where chronic health condition is where an individual is unable to perform 2 of the activities of daily living by themselves. And you basically have 3 levels of care. I'm just summarizing from last week, and we're going to go deeper. You basically have 3 levels of care. You have skilled care, you have intermediate care, and you have personal care. And care can be provided in a variety of settings. Sometimes care can be received at home. It can be received in an assisted living facility. It can be received at an adult daycare center or in a nursing home. So this last one, in a nursing home, this was the one that prompted this show, because during Hurricane Irma, one of the most devastating news we in South Florida had to deal with, there was a nursing home where 8 people died. 8 seniors died. We're not gonna go into the specific, but it happened at the nursing home. So there are debate out there where one can say, is it recklessness, is it carelessness? So each person is gonna form their opinion in one sense. But you can ask yourself, Irma didn't come overnight. We knew 1 week ahead. 1 week ahead, we heard that Irma was possible coming to Florida. So it wasn't like we get up one morning and Irma was knocking on our door. We heard that she was coming. Some of us may choose to have believed or not. And I can understand where individuals may choose not to believe or not. But if you're running an organization that you're taking care of seniors, and you have more than 200 seniors, think about that. You basically have an entire community. You have community that doesn't have 200 homes in it. So here it is, you have a nursing home with more than 200 seniors. Wow. I think the responsibility on such a nursing home is far greater than an individual who choose not to prepare. But when you have 200 seniors in your care, you have to take precaution. You have to take double precaution. If you have 1 generator, you need to have 2 generators. You cannot have 1 generator, because if you lose power and then you're going to say you're going to kick in 1 generator, and then if that generator goes out, then you're out of luck. Yes, an individual at home can choose to do that. But if you have over 200 lives in your care, you have to. It's just, it's not a wish. It's a have to. So, so personally, I believe that there was some recklessness there. So that is what stemmed this, where I wanted to bring back and talk to you about long-term care. Okay, so we talk about nursing home. All right, so here's the part where we stopped last week, because I know when I share this and I dropped this on some of you last week, this was a aha moment or a shocking moment. The average, and this is the part where I want you to get your pen, get your paper. I'm going to give you time to get it. We're in the studio, 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA and a member of SOFA. SOFA's goal is to help eradicate financial illiteracy in America, and I've joined with SOFA to bring it to this community. So I trust now that you have gotten your pen, you have gotten your paper. So we're going to share with you. All right. The annual cost of nursing home care. This is for 2016, folks. So I'm not talking about 10 years ago. The annual cost, the average nationwide cost of nursing home care was $74,820 per year. 74,000. Let's drill down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down to easy numbers then. That is basically $6,500 a month. Think about that for a minute. Between $6,000 and $6,500 a month was the average cost for nursing home care in 2016. Okay. So you have that statistics. You have made a note of it. All right. Here are the conflicting things that going up against this now. And we're going to deal with some of the misconceptions. You have people believe that Medicare helps with long-term care. I'm sorry to tell you, no. Medicare contributes nothing to long-term care. Medicare is health care. Healthcare. And what I want to emphasize to you, for you not to confuse, long-term care and health care are two different things. They're two different things. Health care is medically related. And you may say to me, but Hubert, so is long-term care. But here's the reason. Long-term care is from a chronic illness where something that is expected to continue, where one cannot do two of the activities of daily living on their own. That is what's considered long-term care. But health care is when you have an injury, you have a sickness or what, and it has to be treated. So you may say, but Hubert, chronic is also health care. Yes, you're right. But there are two aspects to the care. You have the medical care and you have the physical care. The physical care is where the long-term care is. The medical care is taken care of by a hospital, a doctor, or a health institution, an urgent care center. But a long-term care center is not necessarily a nurse, not necessarily a medical center. So you may say, but Hubert, you're confusing me. Here's the difference. So if you're confused, guess how some of the seniors feel. Because what happened? You have nursing home. All right? Nursing home comprises of two things. Nursing home can have a long-term care section to it and a medical section to it. So that means someone can be in a nursing home and they can be getting two kinds of care. They can be getting nursing care and they can be getting physical care. The physical care is where someone is helping them with their activities of daily living. So you ask, what's the difference? So you now have an assisted living facility. A lot of times an assisted living facility is where that person is getting the care, the physical care, right? Not necessarily the nursing care, but you have assisted living facility that also provide nursing care, whether the administrator there or staff there is medically qualified, then they may have an assisted living facility with a medical part of it. So this is the part of the thing whereas a lot of seniors are not realizing the difference. So when I mentioned the average care, I was talking about nursing home care, $6,500. You may be able to get an assisted living facility for less, where it may be $3,000, $3,500, $2,500. It's gonna vary in the country. But I want to prepare you for possible worst case scenarios. So I'm telling you about nursing home care because you may have that person who needs both. They need the medical care and they need the physical care. Hence, a nursing home may be necessary, and that the average for that was $6,500 per month. So here's the contradictory part to it now. A lot of people at that age without proper planning, they may be relying on Social Security. But here's a challenge with Social Security. For 2017, put this on your paper. For 2017, the highest Social Security income benefit is $3,538. Yes, the highest. $3,538 for 2017. So no matter how much you may have earned in the past, the highest. So think about that, what I just said. If the highest Social Security benefit is $3,538 in 2017, but the average nursing home is $6,500, folks, do you see the distortion here? Do you see why your retirement cannot be structured based on Social Security? The Social Security, the FRA, basically the maximum that you get at age 66, FRA, full retirement. When you're at full retirement, for some people it's 66 and some people it's 67. For this year, it's $2,639. And you may say, but Hubert, you're confusing me because you just says your full retirement benefit at age 66 or 67 is $2,639. So what is this $3,538? It's those people that when they reach the full retirement age, when they reach their full retirement age, they did not take the benefit. So they delayed the benefit. So for each year, they get an additional 8%. But that caps out after 4 years, where you can get the maximum amount at age 70. So you see, with all of that, giving you all of those different numbers, just in those couple of minutes, that in itself is confusing. So do you see why then it is necessary that when you're going to make these decisions, you need a professional? You don't need to make this decision by your own. You're going to be confused because you're not knowing. You're not knowing the changes. You're not knowing the changes, but a professional in the space will know it. With Social Security, you're talking about cost of living adjustment. So inflation last year 3%. Cost of living adjustment that implemented this year, January 1, the cost of living adjustment for Social Security was 0.3%. Think about that for a minute. So the cost of living adjustment for increasing Social Security benefit January 1, 2017 was 0.3%. Follow that, 0.3%, but inflation was 3%. Do you see the distortion here? So you're getting an additional 0.3% in income, but the cost or the spending value of your money has dropped by 3%. And don't confuse that the 3 and the 0.3 is the same. It's not the same. So the income you're receiving 0.3, but the expenses, you're losing spending power of 3%. So let's do that math. If you're losing spending power, I told you that tonight we're going to go into some numbers. So that's why I want you to put this information on your paper, because you need to look at it. You need to look at it so that you'll be able to ask your questions, because you're not going to get all of it at the same time. So here again, so cost of living adjustment, right, for Social Security went up 0.3%. But inflation was 3%. So that means there is a gap of 2.7%. So if we assume then that cost of living adjustment is gonna increase at that same rate and inflation at the same rate, then every year we're gonna have a gap. We're gonna have a deficit of 2.7%. So let's do the math. Let's do the math, because I know I throw the statistic, but I didn't dive into it. So take now a person who is 67. Follow me closely now. I'm using 67 for a purpose. In 33 years, that 67-year-old person will be 100. Remember what I told you about the statistic? I told you that by the year 2050, which is 33 years from now, there will be 4 million centenarians. That's 4 million people who are 100 years old or older. That's by 2050. So the person who's going to become 100 years old by 2050, which is 33 years from now, that person is 67 this year. So if you look at yourself, you're 67 this year. In 33 years, you're alive, you're going to be 100. Here's the challenge. Here's what I just talked about. If you have a deficit of 2.7 with your income and your expense, let's do the math. I'm not just giving you opinion. We're going to do some math. Take that 33 years and the deficit of 2.7%. Follow me now. 3%, 2.7% in 33 years. You do the math. You're going to get 84%. That means there's a deficit where the person's spending power is going to be decreased by 84% by 2050. So when I said to you that the statistic is great that there will be 4 million centenarians, then what happens, the sad part of that statistic is that 99% will have run out of money. And you ask me, but Hubert, how will they have run out of money? I just share with you. A person who is 67, if they're going to lose buying power, what they can afford now in the year 2017, and they're going to lose buying power of 84%. You don't think if someone loses income of 84%, they have run out of money? Someone may say to me, but Hubert, that's not zero. Well, if you drop from 100 to 16, I would basically say that's just a zero. Wow. I know I've thrown a lot at you. And I've said to you, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. is the fastest hour in the week. Here it is. I'm just introducing starting. And we're halfway. We're halfway. So I want you to get your head together. We're going to come back and then we're going to go further. But get your head together. Stick and stay with us. We're going to be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA. We are in the studio, 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. We are on with you Sundays from 9 p.m. until 10 p.m., but you have 24/7 access to us. You know, you can call us 754-366-7311, 754-366-7311, 24/7. We have a website, financialliteracy.info, financialliteracy.info. You can go on the website, you can visit us, you can see what we're about, you can contact us from the comment page there, you can email us, support@financialliteracy.info, support@financialliteracy.info. We have a Facebook page, you can link us from Facebook, from there directly to Facebook. We have a Twitter page. Yes, we do have a Twitter page. You can tweet to us. We're going to tweet back. We also have a YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. So we encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can go directly from the website to the YouTube channel, in the sense that all the past programs have been recorded. So if something miss you, you can still catch it on YouTube. And if there's a topic that you haven't seen there that you believe that you would like us to talk about, then we can also do that, because our aim and our goal is to serve you. Okay? So thank you very much. So I know I dropped a lot of numbers on you on the first part of the show, and it sounds a little bit weird sometimes. You think about those numbers, it can be defeating. No, the intention is not for it to be defeating. The intention is to make you aware. Because when you're aware, you will make proper planning. And that's what our hope is. Our hope for this program, as I've shared with you, is to help you develop a personal economic model. And you notice it says personal. It's personal in the sense that one person model not gonna fit the next person. Each person model has to be customized to themselves. And that is what we hope to bring you. You know, so help us to help you. You know, we can guide you in that path, or others. There are many great financial professionals who can guide you, help you to develop a plan, you know. So there's solution out there. So it's not gloom and doom where I'm sharing, you know, it's just to make you aware. It's like yesterday, in our office, we take appointments by Saturdays. We are basically Monday to Friday, but we take appointments by Saturday. You know, sometimes you're going to help someone develop a plan. You cannot tell how quick it will be, and sometimes it's just not feasible to do it on a weekday. So we had this young lady. She came in. She's 53 years old, and her number one concern is that she's going to run out of money. She's going to run out of money. She just didn't want to reach that point. She has heard me. She heard me talking about running out of money. And she wanted us to look at her situation. Well, when we looked at her situation, she would have, you know, so basically one of the things we go through is longevity. Says that in her family, people live to an average of 100 years old. So she wants to look at her situation because she believes that if she follows her family trend, she will live to be 100. Her mom right now is 80 years old. Her grandmother died at 96. Grandfather at 99, something like that. So her family trend is 100 years old. So she wanted to look at the possibility of her living till 100 years old. She wanted to see what her situation. So when we looked at what she had and how it's progressing, she would have run out of money at age 79. Yeah. That lady basically started weeping. She says, no, I cannot take that chance. I cannot take that chance because my family people in my family live till 100. I cannot take the chance to run out of money at age 79. We sat with her, we look at her situation, and we help her develop a plan. So now she's on track where she'll never run out of money. So if she even lived to 110, 100, she will never run out of money. And how could we do this? It's because you, the individual, you have to take the first step, because we don't know what your situation is. But you have to be aware to look at your situation and says, do I want to know? So basically you have one of two choices. Do you want to know, or are you just going to roll the dice? I've spoken to you before about dice. If it's a case you want to roll dice, there are places to roll dice. You know, you have places. You have Las Vegas, you have cruise ships, you have the Bahamas, you have Atlantic City. You have places that have built for you to roll dice. But you can't take that chance with your life. You cannot roll dice with your life. So, as I said, this program is to help you, bring you awareness. And as I said, if you choose us to help you, we can guide you. But there are many great financial professionals can guide you. My encouragement and our encouragement for you for this program is that you get that help. Don't just take it for granted that I'm okay. Because let me tell you, tomorrow, oh my gosh. You know, yeah, in the song, you know, one of my favorite songs, I just love that song from Annie. I loves it. I love the song. I bet you $1. The sun will come out tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. But let me tell you, you don't want the sun come out tomorrow, and then we have to sing another song where the sun is out, but in your life, it's raining. It's raining. That's what we're hoping. We're hoping that we can help you prevent that. We're hoping. So, let's go further. So I know it can be a very discouraging topic. Folks, I'm well aware that it's not the most exciting topic. It's not. But it's your life. It's your life. Life as a ebb and flow. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have valley moments. You're gonna have mountaintop moments. You're gonna have that. That's life. So when it happens to you, when it swing low, don't just say, well, oh my gosh, my life is this. Listen, it's everybody's life. Everybody's life has an ebb and flow. Don't listen to the crap where you watch these things and you watch these movies or you watch these soap opera and these people where every day they look good. You see them, they look good. Every day. Do you have soap operas going on for 30, 40 years and those people look good every day? That's not life. Don't kid yourself. Nobody looks good every day. Nobody looks good every day. You know, so yes, we can pretend for a moment, but life has its ebb and flow. Life you're gonna have ups. You're gonna have down. You have a sister-in-law, you know, there's a saying she used, you know, life will be going okay, but what happens when the bam bam comes? Because guess what, folks? Every one of us is gonna have bam bam. We don't escape from bam bam. But let me tell you, the beautiful thing about bam bam, when bam bam comes and we're prepared, we can deal with bam bam. So we may not be able to avoid bam bam, but we can deal with bam bam. You remember that song? That old, I think it was an old festival song. What a bam bam. I can't see. If I could sing, I would drop a tune on you. But if I start singing, my wife is looking at me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, please don't start singing." But you know the song, "What a Bam Bam." She's begging me not to start singing it. So I won't bore you to death with that. But Bam Bam. But that's what life is. So why we make plans? We make plans is that you're someone say, well, there won't be any rainy day. Where I'm not gonna plan for any rainy day, folks. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I am sorry to disappoint you, but there will be rainy days. There will be rainy days, but the sun will also come out. So what we're hoping that as much as there are rainy days, that the plan we make, it can be raining outside, and then we can have the month of May inside. That's another song. See, I know the songs, but I can't sing them. If I could sing, I would drop the tune for you. But you know the songs, It's raining outside, but I got the month of May. Because the month of May is expected where there's no rain. It's just sunshine in May. So that's what we are hoping for you, is that we can create your May. We can create your May where you live your life with May. So long-term care. So here's a challenge. Here's the challenge with long-term care. So the question is based on me giving you those information. One of the questions people have is, how will you pay for long-term care? Yep. How will you? And it's a real question. It's a real question, because you're saying, but I look at my income is flatline. You have income that flat line where the income and the expenses match, so that's flat line. You have the income where it's red. You have the income where it's red, where there's too much month. There is too much month at the money, so the money, it's negative. So sometimes that become a challenge, and that is when sometimes you need financial advice, because one of the things we help people with is to identify monies that they're transferring, because one of the things we talk about are wealth transfers. People are transferring wealth unknowingly and unnecessarily, and that's one of the things we come alongside people to help them with, to identify, okay, how are you spending? What are you spending? Are there things that you're transferring unnecessarily and unknowingly? We're not telling people, we're not subscribing to the fact, you have other advisors will tell you, oh, you must just tighten your belt. You must just tighten your belt and you live below live below your means, blah, 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 blah. We're not subscribing to that fact. We are not telling you to change your lifestyle. Because the worst thing you can tell somebody, you're going to tell somebody, oh, just decrease your lifestyle. Then you're going to think, oh my gosh, life becomes a drag. That's not what our philosophy. Our philosophy is that we believe that there are more to gain by plugging the holes. Plugging the holes in your bucket. Because in your bucket, there may be holes that you're not realizing, and your money is leaking through those holes. And as I mentioned that, there's another song. I don't know what tonight I'm into these songs. There's this song, oh my gosh, I'm dating myself now. You're gonna know when I tell you this song. Oh my gosh. There's a song, I don't even know if the singer or that DJ is still around. It was called Kojak. There's a hole in the bucket. There lies that. There's a hole, where the girl is singing that she's telling him, Kojak, you gotta cock it. So what I'm saying here, if there are holes in your bucket, the first thing you want to do is to identify where are the holes. And if there are holes identified, then you can plug those holes. And once you plug those holes, then what happens is that you can start filling that bucket. Because it doesn't make sense you fill a bucket. I've shared this story with you when I used to go to the country by my grandmother, and we used to go to a place called Standpipe. And we would go with the bucket. We'd go with the bucket to catch water, because we had to take back water down to the house. We had to take back. So we had to go to standpipe, catch the water, and you have these buckets. One of the sad part in doing those things, you fill that bucket, and what happened? They put these things. The people in the country, I'm from Kingston, so they fill these things, and my cousin there, she would put the thing and she would fix it where I could put the bucket on top of my head. Because if it balanced on top of my head, then I can carry more. I can carry one bucket on top of my head, and I can carry one in my hand. The sad part when you're doing that, and this has happened, you have that bucket on top of your head, and you're carrying another bucket. Oh my gosh, and you start feeling that water dripping on you. You start feeling that water dripping, but the water is not coming from the top. The water is leaking because there's a hole in the bucket. It's one of the most depressing things. For those of you who have experienced it, it is so depressing because here's what you know. You know by the time you get to the house, the bucket on top of your head is going to be empty. So guess what? You'll have to go back with a better bucket. Oh my gosh, it was depressing. It was depressing. So what I'm saying to you is the same situation. Some of you may have buckets that it has a hole, but you don't even know that it's a hole. Okay? So how do we pay for it? Do we pay for it out of pocket? We can rely on government. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. If your plan is to rely on government, that's not a good plan. That's not a good plan. You see this debate? You see what's going on this week? Just this week? Tomorrow there's this debate. And then this week, then there's this debate about Obamacare. I don't know how you feel about whether it's Obamacare or affordable health care. But what's happening? There are proposed decrease in spending. This is not a political statement. There are decrease in spending. Two of the programs that will be affected by some of these decreases are Medicare and Medicaid. So if someone thinks that their future plan can be based on Medicare and Medicaid, that's not a good plan. So I'm just going to move on from that because I don't want to meddle. I don't want to meddle. Another thing you can do is, how do you pay for it? You buy long-term care insurance. So here's the challenge again. You buy long-term care insurance. You remember the lady that called last week? This lady had long-term care insurance that she's paying. She was paying for 10 years. 10 years! 10 years she's paying her long-term care insurance. And whatever the plan she had, something happened. There were some late charges, and she owed an amount which was even less than 1 month. They canceled her long-term care insurance. She called last week. We're just sharing what she shared with us. She called. 10 years. Can you imagine? You're paying into something 10 years, $200 a month. You're paying in, and for $35 or something like that, your insurance is canceled. It's canceled. This is after you have put in over $24,000. You know that's not a good day, right? That's a sad day. But what happened? Why I kept encouraging you that to have the proper insurance, and this is a challenge again because she said she used an agent and the agent didn't help much. So the challenge you have again now is, oh my gosh, how knowledgeable is your agent? So here's the thing. Here's the challenge again with insurance. Wow. It saddens me to say this, but it's the truth. Sometimes the agent knows better, but the insurance company, that particular insurance company that has certain policies, that they have to follow policies and procedures. So sometimes the agent knows better, but because their company don't have that product. Can you imagine you go to Publix? You go to Publix to buy something and the cashier is telling you, why buy it here? It's better at Walmart, or it's better at Western Beef or whatever. A person can't say that. If that person say that, that means that person is getting ready to lose their job. They can't say it. So it's the same thing. You're at one insurance company, and this agent who works for this company, knows that there may be a better product. But because that's where that agent is getting their livelihood, they can't tell you to go across the street because that product is better than theirs. And you may say, but Hubert, that's not right. It's life. It's life. So I feel for the lady. I don't know all the details, but I tell you, it is very critical for you to get the proper information. Paying for long-term care out of pocket. Not many people can do that. Yeah, you have more freedom to choose. If you're going to pay for it yourself, you have more freedom to choose. But I just told you the cost. If you don't have the money, how are you going to pay for it? We're in the studio. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA. We are wrapping up. We are coming down the stretch. We have 4 more minutes with you. We have time probably to take 1 or 2 more calls. The line is open, 954-792-1170, 954-792-1170. We're dropping long-term care insurance information on you. Not just long-term care insurance, long-term care. Okay, Hubert McIntosh, your CPA. So, as I said, you can pay out of your pocket, but you have to have the money. You must be willing to... Here's the part again now. And this is the part. You remember I talked to you about wealth transfer? There's a part. You must be willing to liquidate assets if necessary. Sometimes people are scared of this because what happens, they say, but what if the assets that I liquidate... What if my liquid becomes gone? I liquidate my assets, then I lose that. And that is where proper guidance have to come. There are things you can liquidate in, and it's guaranteed. There are guarantees. Don't let people tell you that there are no guarantees. There are guarantees, but you don't just find them easy. You don't just walk around and see somebody with a sign that says, "Come over here, this is guaranteed." Guarantee, you have to explore. You have to explore and educate, and this is what we are sharing with you. Another way people can pay for it. And this is also a controversial topic I'm going to mention now, but I'm going to mention it and we're going to pick up. We're going to pick up from it. So I'm preparing you next week. Next week, we're going to talk. We're going to talk more about this topic. I'm going to introduce it this week. And next week, we're going to talk about reverse mortgage. Yes, reverse mortgage. There are a lot of confusion regarding reverse mortgage. Lot of confusion. Reverse mortgage. What you knew about reverse mortgage prior to 2010? If your knowledge is prior to 2010, you almost know nothing, because in 2010, the reverse mortgage was taken over by HUD. So it has been managed by HUD. So it's a better situation. Don't fall into that thing where people telling you people losing your house. But now that I tell you about reverse mortgage, there's a little bad news I have to share with you. So when I come on next week, I'm going to go further. Next week, Friday, there are some changes in the reverse mortgage. The government is changing some stuff, whereas, we're going to go more into the detail, but there are some changes where your credit is going to go down. But we'll talk more. But it's one of the best way that someone can pay for long-term care with reverse mortgage. We can help guide you through that. Another way, there's something called with Medicaid spend down and so forth. We can talk to you more about that. We're going to talk about that after. We're going to introduce you also to Medicaid planning. So you can say the lineup that we're doing next week, we're going to talk about reverse mortgage. The following week, we're going to go to Medicaid planning so that you can understand what's going on here because they all tie together. All right. So, we have dropped a lot on you. So this program by Tuesday, this one will be posted. So you'll have it on YouTube. And all the other programs are posted. And next week, you can mark your calendar. Next week, we're going to talk about reverse mortgage. And the following week, we're going to talk about Medicaid planning. Okay, this all dovetail with the long-term care and the Social Security planning. This is Hubert McIntosh, your CPA, a member of SOFA, with one goal to help eradicate financial illiteracy in America. We're on every Sunday nights, 9 to 10, but visit us on the web, financialliteracy.info. So we just thank you, and we will see you next week.
Financial literacy with Hubert McIntosh on Waves 1170 has come to an end. Don't be mad.
He'll be back next week
on www.waves1170.